Hello everyone, thank you for watching. Recently, someone who had watched the last video, The Insect God, emailed me with a request to read their dark poetry. I really enjoyed it. The isolation and dread that is portrayed really stuck with me. Now, I'm a huge fan of Edgar Allan Poe, so dark poetry is definitely work that I enjoy. This poem ran a little short for a full video, so I thought I would put a few different poems in here. I went a little crazy with it. So here I am trying something a little different. If you do not like poetry, that's fine. Just skip this video. I have another narration coming along shortly. But if you do enjoy it, stick around. I picked some poems dating back to the 1800s. Let me know in the comments if you do like this type of content, as I do enjoy it, but understand if it isn't the most popular form of writing. So, sit back, and I hope you enjoy these haunting tales. The Spirit Pond, written by Doodleslice. Out past Thompson's garage, on the outskirts of town, beyond where the concrete is cracked and broken down, the asphalt lane crumbles into gravel and clumps. A winding path awaits where trampled grass slumps. Watch out for the brambles, those horns that scratch and hurt, leaving itchy rashes as burrs stick to your shirt. Watch out for clinging mud, trying to steal your boots, as worms wriggle below, decayed leaves and dead roots. Trudge on down the bramble, paths you'll strain to follow. Push away the branches, creeping down the hollow. There you will find a pond, scummed with algae's green bloom, where the air is as still as inside a closed room. The Spirit Pond it's named, but none remembers why. Old folks just look away. The young say you might die. Just a pond in the woods, stagnant and buggy, a place that children fear, ominous and muggy. Carmeline knew the tales, rumours of wicked things, but curiosity's like a siren, it sings. Luring songs that linger in a child's fertile mind, enticing feet to stray to destinies unkind. On this day she gave in, pretending not to care, egged on to temptation by brother's sneering dare. Spirit Pond is evil, and you're a fraidy cat. You haven't got the nerve, you're just a baby brat. She knew she would be scared, but somehow, undaunted, her will could not resist whispers of the haunted. She trudged past the garage, where asphalt lays broken. Past where the sidewalk ends, there grew dread unspoken. On her back a knapsack she had packed for the hike, apples and some water, and the horn from her bike. She followed the gravel, soon the stones grew mossy, still so annoyed at how her brother was bossy, but silently wishing he was here anyway, to make some stupid joke to chase her fear away. Carmeline was stubborn because she had been dared, and she could not turn back even though she was scared. So she trudged and she tripped and swatted away flies, remembering voices telling Spirit Pond lies. They had to be fibbing, all those tales full of ghosts. She refused to believe her dumb brother's boasts. Spirit Pond is hungry. Don't go out there alone. It feeds on lost children. It's a fact widely known. Only the bravest kids make it back home alive. Just like I did, but you would never survive. Taunting words sure can sting, but so too does thistle, scraping skin on some thorns, nerves starting to bristle. After hiking an hour, tired and feeling cruddy, she reached the nasty stretch that always was muddy. She tried to pick a route where footing looked drier, but with each squelching step, mud on her shoes went higher. She came to resting rock, a great big flat boulder. letting down her backpack from off of her shoulder. No further than this spot had she hiked to before. This was where her brother had first told her the law. There is evil ahead. Something sleeps in that pond. See those reeds over there? Don't you dare go beyond. The pond demands silence. Don't you dare make a sound, or you'll wake the spirits, then you'll never be found. Sitting down on the rock, taking a break at last, she munched on an apple, her thoughts still in the past. She remembered crying when he first told the tale. He endlessly teased her, hiking home on the trail. Today she would not cry, her courage she would prove. Taking a bike horn in hand, she said it's time to move. Leaving her bag behind, she got up off the rock, heading straight through the reeds, prepared for any shock. Suddenly there it was, the pond of the story. Carmeline with her horn, and a plan for glory. The pond was green and gross, the air thick with silence, until she honked her horn in her brave defiance. Honk honk she was laughing, Carmeline lost her fear. Loud laughing and honking, that's all you could hear. Not the sound of algae congealing together, not the sound of foul wind as it changed the weather. The honking was so loud, it could waken the dead. The next day in the town, that's what some people said. Honking before thunder, and a pummeling rain, and a lost little girl, never heard from again. A knapsack with apples was all they ever found. But sometimes in the night, some hear a bike horn sound. Up by Old Spirit Pond, each day hikes another. It's been 32 years, thinks Carmeline's brother. Each day at Resting Rock, he breaks down and grieves. Each day at Resting Rock, a fresh apple he leaves. A Dream Within a Dream by Edgar Allan Poe. Take this kiss upon the brow, and in parting from you now, thus much let me avow, you are not wrong who deem that my days have been a dream. Yet if hope has flown away in a night or in a day, in a vision or in none, is it therefore the less gone? All that we see or seem is but a dream within a dream. I stand amid the roar of a surf-tormented shore, and I hold within my hand grains of the golden sand. How few, yet how they creep through my fingers to the deep, while I weep, while I weep. Oh God, can I not grasp them with a tighter clasp? Oh God, can I not save one from the pitiless wave? Is all that we see or seem but a dream within a dream? Haunted by Siegfried Sassoon. Evening was in the wood, lowering with storm. A time of drought had sucked the weedy pool and baked the channels. Birds had done with song. Thirst was a dream of fountains in the moon, or willow music blown across the water, leisurely sliding on by weir and mill. Uneasy was the man who wandered, brooding, his face a little whiter than the dusk. A drone of sultry wings flickered in his head, the end of sunset burning through the boughs. Died in a smear of red, exhausted hours, Unencumbered and ugly sorrows hemmed him in. He thought, somewhere there's thunder, as he strove to shake off dread. He dared not look behind him, but stood, the sweat of horror on his face. He blundered down a path, trampling on thistles, in sudden race to leave the ghostly trees. And soon I'll be in open fields, he thought, and half-remembered starlight on the meadows, scent of mown grass and voices of tired men fading along the field paths, home and sleep. And cool swept upland spaces, whispering leaves, and far-off long churring nightjar's note, but something in the wood, trying to daunt him, led him confused in circles through the thicket. He was forgetting his old wretched folly, and freedom was his need. His throat was choking. Barbed brambles gripped and clawed him round his legs, and he floundered over snags and hidden stumps, mumbling, I will get out. I must get out. Butting and thrusting up the baffling gloom, pausing to listen in a space twixt thorns. He peers around with peering, frantic eyes. An evil creature in the twilight looping, flapped blindly in his face. Beating it off, he screeched in terror, and straightway something clambered heavily from an oak, and dropped, bent double, to shamble at him zigzag, squat and bestial. Headlong he charges down the wood, and falls with roaring brain, agony, the snapped spark, and blots of green and purple in his eyes, then the slow fingers groping on his neck, and his eyes the strangling clasp of death. A Child's Nightmare by Robert Graves. Through long nursery nights he stood, by my bed unwearying, loomed gigantic, formless, queer, purring in my haunted ear. That same hideous nightmare thing, talking as he lapped my blood, in a voice cruel and flat, saying forever, cat, cat, cat. That one word was all he said, that one word through all my sleep, in monotonous mock despair. Nonsense may be light as air, but there's nonsense that can keep horror bristling round the head, when a voice cruel and flat says forever, cat, cat, cat. He had faded, he was gone, years ago with nursery land, when he leapt on me again, from the clank of a night train, overpowered me foot and head, lapped my blood while on and on. The old voice, cruel and flat, says forever, cat, cat, cat. More fear drowsed. Again I lay, in a crater by high wood. He was there with straddling legs, staring eyes as big as eggs, purring as he lapped my blood, his black bulk darkening the day, with a voice, cruel and flat. Cat, cat, cat. Cat, he said, cat, cat. When I'm shot through heart and head, and there's no choice but to die, the last thing I'll hear, no doubt, won't be charge or bomb them out, nor the stretcher bearer's cry, let that body be, he's dead, but a voice cruel and flat, saying forever, cat, cat, cat. The Haunted Oak by Paul Laurence Dunbar. Pray, why are you so bare, O bough of the old oak tree? And why, when I go through the shade you throw, runs a shudder over me? My leaves were green as the best, I trow, and sap ran free in my veins. But I saw in the midnight dim and weird a guiltless victim's pains, I bent down to hear his sigh. I shook with his gurgling moan, and I trembled sore when they rode away and left him here alone. They charged him with the old crime and set him fast to jail. Oh, why does the dog howl all night long, and why does the night wind wail? He prayed his prayer and he swore his oath, and he raised his hand to the sky. But the beat of hoofs smote on his ear, and the steady tread drew nigh. Who is it rides by night over the moonlit road? And what is the spur that keeps the pace? What is the galling goad? And now they beat at the prison door. Ho, keeper, do not stay. We are friends of him whom you hold within, and we fain take him away from those who ride fast on our heels with mind to do him wrong. They have no care for his innocence, and the rope they bear is long. They have fooled the jailer with lying words, they have fooled the man with lies. The bolts unbar, the locks are drawn, and the great door open flies. Now they have taken him from the jail, and hard and fast they ride, and the leader laughs low down in his throat as they halt my trunk beside. Oh, the judge, he wore a mask of black, and the doctor one of white, and the minister with his oldest son was curiously bedight. O foolish man, why weep you now? 'Tis but a little space, and the time will come when these shall dread the memory of your face. I feel the rope against my bark, and the weight of him in my grain. I feel in the throe of his final woe the touch of my own last pain. And never more shall leaves come forth on the bough that bears the ban. I am burned with dread, I am dried and dead from the curse of a guiltless man. And ever the judge rides by and goes to hunt the deer, and ever another rides his soul in the guise of mortal fear. And ever the man he rides me hard, and never a night stays he, for I feel his curse as a haunted bough on the trunk of a haunted tree. The Little Ghost by Edna St. Vincent Millay. I knew her for a little ghost that in my garden walked. The wall is high, higher than most, and the green gate was locked, and yet I did not think of that till after she was gone. I knew her by the broad white hat, all ruffled she had on, by the dear ruffles round her feet, by her small hands that hung in their lace mitts austere and sweet, her gown's white folds among. I watched to see if she would stay, what she would do, and oh, she looked as if she liked the way I let my garden grow. She bent above my favourite mint with conscious garden grace. She smiled and smiled, there was no hint of sadness in her face. She held her gown on either side to let her slippers show, and up the walk she went with pride, the way great ladies go. And where the wall is built in new, and is of ivy bare, she paused, then opened and passed through a gate that once was there. Thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to subscribe, comment, share and like, and press the bell to get notifications when new videos are uploaded. If you have a story that you want Jimmy Horrors to read, send it to jimmyhorrorsnarrations@gmail.com. Until next time, stay horrific everyone.